Hi and welcome to the 8th episode of China Tools. My name is Dennis and I am from Hooked on Wood. In this episode we are going to talk about this Doweling Jig Banggood sent me a few months ago. And I told in one of my previous episodes that it looked very promising. So let's see if my opinion has changed after using it for a while and testing it. But first I told you about a giveaway promotion. And to compete for prizes, I ask you to give me your suggestions of Banggood products you want me to review. And I made a top 10 of these suggestions, and the good news is that I will review them all in future episodes. So keep your suggestions coming, because then I can review products you want to see. If you want to know who the winners are, you can see a video about this on my channel. Okay, let's take a closer look about this Doweling Jig. We have a self-centering Doweling Jig. It's made out of aluminium and it looks pretty good. It's heavy, it feels stable. You see 3 bushes and it comes delivered with 3 sets of these bushes in different sizes, 6, 8 and 10 millimeters. And you can change them very easily, and it looks that these bushes are from a decent quality. If you look at the fit and finish, it looks pretty good. There's a slightly bit of color difference here, and I'm not sure if that is part of the design or a slight deviation in color. It has a wave pattern on these handlebars, and that gives some grip if you use it with your hands, but if you're going to clamp it together, flat would be a little bit easier. If I have to summarize its build quality, I would rate it 7.5, 8 out of 10. But before we receive a product, if you order it from Banggood or China or whatever, it has to come here. And that makes the packaging in which it comes very important. And although everything that I have ordered and received so far has always arrived without problems, the packaging sometimes falls short to guarantee that products arrive intact. So from now on, I will also rate the packaging with each product I review. If we look at this Doweling Jig, it comes in a cardboard box. This box is not very sturdy, but the product lays in a nice foam, so I think this product will arrive without any problems. I like the inlay because it gives the possibility to make a beautiful box yourself that does justice to this product, and then it looks much better. When we tear down the product, we see that it is well put together. The screws they used look good, and the hinge points use screws with a spring so that you can tighten them well, but it also remains movable. And it's good to see that even in the places that are not visible, there's some attention to detail. I like to use some dry lubricant with these types of products. This ensures less friction, makes it run very smoothly, and ensures a longer lifespan. When this is ready, you have quite an impressive product if you compare it to the price. With this Doweling Jig, it is straightforward to mark the center of the edge of a piece of wood. It has 2 holes, one from 1 mm and 2 mm, so you can use different kinds of markers. This goes very well and very precise. If you want to make a frame, this is the area this product really shines. If you're going to make a joint, it is very easy to drill the dowel holes without measuring or marking. It has a stop lock, and this ensures that the 2 pieces will align very well. I found the results near perfect, and especially if you consider the time and the ease it takes to make such an excellent and sturdy connection. It aligns perfectly and it looks very good, even before gluing and clamping. But also a straight connection goes very well. It's very easy to do, it aligns perfectly, and well, it's just very simple to make such a nice joint. If you want to make a connection like this for a table leg or a chair leg, this Doweling Jig comes in very handy. If you want to connect the crossbar at a certain height, you just draw a line at this point. The Doweling Jig has some markers at the side, and this you align with the mark you drew. You can use the Doweling Jig for wood till 60 mm wide, and the minimum width is 17 millimeters. For the crossbar you set the stop block at 10 millimeters. And then you know that your crossbar will connect 10 millimeters under the line you drew earlier. Again, it's a very straightforward process and perfectly centered. But of course you want also the possibility to make your connection off center. You can also do this with this doweling jig. First you have to measure how far you want your crossbar off center. In our case this is 5 millimeters. So you have to make a spacer of twice this offset. So 10 millimeters in our case. When you put the spacer between the bar of the doweling jig, at one side you get the off-center settings you just want. I am impressed with how good this doweling jig can align the two pieces at the end. If I get my straight square, it is really perfectly flat, and of course when your wood pieces are straight, you get them perfectly squared. With this doweling jig you can also make an endless number of doweling holes at the edge of a piece of wood perfectly centered. You can make 3 holes and then slide the doweling jig and put this pin in this hole. And because you can put your pin here, you always have 3 bushes left to drill your holes. And there are also doweling designs who do not have this opportunity, and then you have to put your pin in the first bush. So you only got 2 bushes left to drill your holes. So for this purpose, this doweling jig is perfectly designed. But that said, if you have to make a large number of holes on the edge of a piece of wood, I would consider doing it with a pillar drill machine because that gives more consistent results. So far a very nice tool, but there are also some drawbacks. First is this scale that you can use to trim your stop block. And I assume that it is meant to indicate how far the center of this first hole will be from the edge. Here we put a stop block at 10 millimeters. And if we mark a point at the middle of the first hole, we see that it is 20 millimeters away. So luckily you only have to add 10 millimeters to it, and that's not that hard, but I found it a bit strange that something like this can happen. And although this scale goes as far as 40 millimeters, you can only use it till 25 millimeters. So that is a shame. That said, I can live with this shortcoming because you can easily work around it. You do not necessarily need it, and these stop blocks are really very handy. Another thing I want to mention is that this product is not foolproof. Sometimes I see reviews where people use it, they use it very fast, one-handed, without clamps, and then they tell you the results are perfect. Although I did not find any review where they show you the results in a proper way. And the reason I tell you this is because it can give you the impression that you can't go wrong with this tool. And I do not think that that is the case. I did not find it that easy to work with at the beginning. So I think there's a kind of learning curve for this product. Absolutely no reason not to buy this product, but I just want to put working with it at the beginning in the right perspective. Most of the time you see people use it with a clamp. That is not necessary to keep the middle bar stable, because even when you clamp it, there is some play at the middle bar. This is not a failure, but more a feature of this kind of design. If you look at the screws that connect the middle bar with the bridges, you see that there is a rubber ring that is responsible for this small movement. And I think this small movement prevents your drill bit and bushes against damaging over time. So the reason why you clamp it is that you get both hands free to drill as straight as possible and keep this moving under control. For me, the easiest way to get consistent results is to slide your drill bit in the bushing as straight as possible. Then push the center of your drill bit in the wood like a kind of center punch, and then start drilling. This way I get consistent results. And if you are used to this method, it becomes very easy to use this product. It's very straightforward and I can get very professional results. Another thing that you should take care of is that you tighten these screws frequently. Because of the friction when using it, it becomes loose and then the middle bar becomes too unstable. So at the end, what do I think about it and how will I rate it? I'm glad I waited some time with this review because I had to get used to this product. But after time passed, I really got enthusiastic about it, and it becomes too easy to get this very nice aligned result in combination with a very sturdy connection. I told you that Banggood sent me this product, so I asked them to give me a link to the products they sent me. And when they did, there were two things I noticed. One, the product in the link had flat bars, and two, it cost only around $38. So let's start with the price. I think for $38, this is a very nice, well-built tool, especially when you consider that the shipment costs from China are mostly almost zero. So it's not that you have to add $10 from shipment to it. So of course everybody has his own budget, but for this price I would not try to make something like this myself, because it would be very hard to outperform this one on build quality, accuracy and durability. So I'm really impressed with the price quality ratio of this product. Second is the different model they show in this link, and I contacted them again if they are really sure that the link is right, because it's a different model. It's not that different, it has the same scale of the stop lock that is 10 millimeters off, but the bushes are from another material, the pins are blue, and of course the handlebars are flat. And although I also found a picture of the product I got, and I saw a lot of reviews where people showed the same product I got, I found it a bit strange. But they assured me that this is the link from the vendor I got my Doweling Jig from, and that in the description they add that the straight type and the curved type may send in random. And I do not know the reason behind this strange policy, but I'm not a vendor, I just make this review. So the only thing I can add to this is that I could live with both of them, because the flat one is handy if you use it with clamps, but of course you can also do that with this curved one. But still, I found it very strange, and from a Western world point of view, almost unbelievable. But that said, the price is very attractive and the quality is very good. But for a hobbyist, this can be one of those products that you do not use every day, and when you need it someday and you have to pay more than $100 for it, you may have to look for alternatives to make those connections. But for $38, it's nice to have it in your shop. And then when you need it, you know you have probably the best tool laying around to get that job done. So take that into account if you are interested in this product. But this is my scoring card. So if you are interested in this product and you want to help my channel, please use one of the links in my description below. Thank you. I would also like to draw your attention to my site, www.hookedonwood.online. I made this site mainly because of this China tool series. Here you can find every product I tested, but also a ranking among these products, direct links and information in which episode you can find this product. This way you can only watch the episodes with products of your interest. But of course you should watch them all. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and well, I see you next time.